What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So it's been a busy week for teaser trailers, for trailers themselves, and we have a few more that we're going to be covering today and over the weekend, over the holiday weekend. So be on the lookout for a few more to be dropping onto the channel. But as you can see from the timestamp here, this one just dropped a few hours ago. Again, one of those ones I don't think we were expecting to get so soon. I don't think we were expecting a teaser at any point. At least I know I did not until probably early mid-May. But here we are. Him, teaser trailer, a gruesome gridiron nightmare from producer Jordan Peele. So again, didn't think we were going to be getting this one, but we have it. I know we've heard about this one, that it's going to be this sports horror type film, supposed to be based, obviously, Gridiron off of football. Don't know if in the film it's going to be some professional league, some sort of college that they're going to be, obviously a fake college, fake professional league that they're going to be mimicking. But nonetheless, I can't think of too many sports horror films that we've seen, at least not in recent times I can think of, that are having a backing of some fairly predominant names in the industry overall, but even within the horror industry, including Jordan. But this also has Marlon Wayans in it. Now, obviously, Marlon Wayans has spent more of his career in the comedy aspect, stand-up comedy as well. But even when it comes to films and TV series, it has been more on the comedy aspect, not so much on the horror aspect. So we're going to take a look at this article, take a look at the details, and then we're going to jump into the trailer like we normally do and see what we're going to be getting. So I'd imagine, I haven't seen this image before, but so I'd imagine this is going to be an image we're going to see within this trailer. I'd imagine this is probably one of the co-stars or stars of the film, but pretty interesting aspect here of this character behind him holding what appears to be almost like a cross between a modern and a not medieval, but more along the lines of like the Crusades, where you have like the hammer side here and then like the pick on the other side, like a war hammer. I think that's what they're called. Interesting concept here of this individual, the way they're dressed, the weaponry that they have, and then in a modern day movie. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more about that aspect. So what would you sacrifice to become the greatest of all time? Universal has released the official teaser for Him, the new horror movie from Jordan's Monkeypaw Productions. Watch the teaser below, which we're going to do here in a moment. This film is due out September 19th, 2025. So we do have some time before this drops. Again, I'm surprised we're getting this teaser now, but hey, I'm happy to finally get something that we can look at for this film. We've heard a little bit about it, so now we have something to go with that. From Oscar winner Jordan and Monkeypaw Productions, producers of the landmark horror films Get Out, Us, Candyman, and Nope, comes a chilling journey into the inner sanctum of fame, idolatry, and the pursuit of excellence at any cost, featuring an electrifying dramatic performance from Marlon Wayans. Him stars former college wide receiver Tyreek Withers. It looks like he's also going to be in the I Know What You Did Last Summer film that's coming up just also in a few months, as Cameron Cade, a rising star quarterback who has devoted his life and identity to football. On the eve of professional football's annual scouting combine, Cam is attacked by an unhinged fan and suffers a potentially career-ending brain trauma. Just when all seems lost, Cam receives a lifeline when his hero, Isaiah White, who will be played by Marlon Wayans, a legendary 8-time championship quarterback and cultural megastar, offers to train Cam at Isaiah's isolated compound that he shares with his celebrity influencer wife, Elsie White, who will be played by Julia Fox. But as Cam's training accelerates, Isaiah's charisma begins to curdle into something darker, setting his protege down a disorienting rabbit hole that may cost him more than he ever bargained for. Okay, so pretty long synopsis, longer than I would normally give, but it didn't have much overall substance to it from the horror aspect that would be expecting. All we know is that he's a football player, high regard, high sought after, and something's happened to him. Now he's seeking help from a former champion, but it sounds like this former champion has a dark history, a dark person, so to speak, a life aspect that no one really knows about, but seems like now Cam is going to find out what that is. We have some more casting here, which we're not going to read through each one of these individuals. You can check out the article link. I'll put it in the description of this video below if you want to come back and read through the additional castings. Him is directed by Justin Tipping from acclaimed Blacklist screenplay by Zach Akers and Skip Bronke. And then we have more just, accolades of previous works that they've done. We have the trailer, and then we have the poster, which I've seen this poster before, but when we've seen this poster before, again, not knowing anything about the film, we knew the name of it, obviously who was involved, and we always saw this football with like these the staples in it instead of the laces, and then the blood dripping from it. But again, that's all we've ever seen from the film, or have not from the film, but getting an idea of what the film could be about. So I do like the poster overall, fairly simple, but as you guys have always heard me say before, I prefer just to have the name. Get rid of all this minutia down here at the bottom. Just keep the name, Greatest Demand Sacrifice, and then him. I think that's fine. Even this little bit of text at the top, I think just isn't necessary. All right, pretty short article. So we're going to jump back to the top, and then we're going to pull up the trailer. All right. So let me get the trailer. Give me 1 second here. We'll get this queued up. And then, all right, so let's get it started and see what they got.
Do you want this? I said, do you want this? If you want to transcend the game, you have to dig deep. Your mind and your body have to be in sync. Talent is how hard you're willing to work. No days off. No sleep. We grind. I'm never good enough. I'm never good enough. That's how great people think. So you're gonna have to ask yourself, what am I willing to sacrifice? This ain't a fucking game, man. This is everything. Do you want this? What are you willing to sacrifice? You fucking say it! Say it! Say it! Everything! And show me.
So that was a short teaser, roughly give you guys a timestamp that was about 1 minute 37 seconds, give or take. They definitely focused a lot on the football aspect, and then interwoven the horror aspects to it, where we were getting the clips back and forth. We obviously saw where he gets, or at the moment he gets the brain injury. Now, I did like that. I did like how as soon as the hit happens, we see like this X-ray aspect of of the injury happening internally. There was an old I think it was called Blitz. It's an old Xbox or Xbox 360 game where it was a football game where it was 8-on-8. It was like you had 8-on-8, and when you would hit but the whole purpose of this game was to try to injure other players and get them taken out of the game. And when you would get a hard hit on someone, it would have this X-ray effect and then slow motion where you would see someone's leg getting broken or their jaw getting broken, and then they're taken out of the game. So the whole point of the game was football, but was a more anything goes type of game, and that's what that reminded me of. Now, some of the horror aspects here, we see that Warhammer being carried by two different characters, but we see almost like this downward spiral, definitely into this almost demonic world, because at the end we see him standing on what appeared to be a pentagram, and these various people behind him we saw, and I'm talking about Cam, the football player that's injured. And at one point he's covered in blood. We saw some faces, at least 3 or 4, faces, like mummified faces on a wall. Don't know if those are previous victims or individuals that came to this secret compound, so to speak, that Marlon Wayans' character is portraying, and then ultimately like they were human sacrifices. So while the teaser had quite a bit in it, I do like how they left it more on the keeps you guessing. We're gonna give you a minute and 47 seconds of a teaser, but it didn't feel like it was enough to really give you an idea of where this is gonna go. Again, they had a lot of the football aspects here and give you those flashes of the horror aspect. I'm surprised how bright the colors were in this, but considering Jordan's previous bodies of work, that does make sense. I am interested in seeing this one because primarily to see how how he embodies the full character and embodies being in a big blockbuster horror film, because again, his body of work isn't necessarily geared towards this genre or this world. So as a longtime fan of some of his work, I am interested to see how he brings his character to life and how Jordan directs him to bringing that aspect out of him as an actor. So that's going to do it for this teaser trailer review of him, coming to us again in September 2025. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this teaser. Again, something different, a sports horror film. Again, haven't seen too many of these, if really hardly any at all. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next one. Later.